The schools disagree with this because they are run by a bunch of socialist, fascist, democrat, communist. They don't want freedom, they want tyranny. I mean, IT worked so well in Germany, North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela, and the list goes on and on. A disarmed people are not a free people. But these teachers, or should I say indoctrinators and propagandists, want you to forget your history here and the history from around the world. What happens when you disarm the sheeple? You get shooting in airports, schools and movie theaters, because guns are banned. And then of course you have your military police state right here with the Charlotte County Sheriff, Bill PRUMMELL, who's from New York. He wishes you didn't have gun rights like there. He won't even sign Sheriff Mac's petition to uphold the Constitution. Stubbs gun bill a loaded issue. Schools disapprove. By Jonathan Scholes. Staff writer. Sarasota, a student body president at University of South Florida, Sarasota Manatee said loosening state gun laws is not the answer to safety. In fact, it may cause more headaches. It will make it less safe, not more. And colleges are already a stressful place as it is, said Andrew Brecht, a senior criminology student and student government leader at Youreself. This is a conservative state. If you want to win elections, you come out in favor of guns. For the third straight time, State Senate is once again pushing a bill, SB 140, that allows the open carrying of handguns and expands rights of gun owners by removing several locations from the list where concealed weapons are currently banned. The bill, introduced by Senator Greg Stubbs, R. Sarasota, may face a smoother path to the Senate floor than in previous years, as its committee chairs are Republicans. I've always been a huge proponent of law-abiding citizens being able to protect themselves, Stubbs said, pointing to mass shootings, including Sandy Hook and Pulse nightclub, as cases where disaster may have been thwarted if licensed permit holders were allowed to carry in public places. To rely on law enforcement to keep us safe is naive. They can't be everywhere, he said. Why should I have to holster my gun to walk from my truck to the Capitol building when I can just keep it in a locker? The controversial item was set to be heard by the Stubbs Judiciary Committee on Tuesday, but postponed because Senator Rene Garcia could not attend. The hearing will be rescheduled before heading to the Government Oversight and Accountability Committee before landing at the Rules Committee. As with previous legislative sessions, the bill will not go before the Criminal Justice Committee, which is chaired by Randolph Bracy D. Orlando. The legislation would allow the 1.7 million people in the state with concealed weapons permits to openly carry their firearms. Additionally, they would be able to take their weapons places currently banned, including government meetings, public schools, colleges and universities, and airport passenger terminals. This is an unmitigated disaster, said Mike Riley, a spokesperson for Charlotte County Schools, who is a gun owner. I'm not anti-gun. For the right reason, they're wonderful. But used for the wrong reason, they are terrible. SWAT guys get hours of training and never rush into a building. Now we want to give a teacher a gun? You're asking a calculus teacher to be Rambo? It's a bad situation, he said. I'm a gun owner and I don't want to use them. Sarasota County Schools also came out in opposition to SB 140. The best way to ensure the safety of students and staff is to only allow trained, certified law enforcement officers to carry firearms at schools, Superintendent Lori White said via email. Most schools in both Charlotte and Sarasota County Schools have full-time resource officers, who are trained law enforcement agents. That, coupled with state-of-the-art security measures, helps ensure safety. It's the mental training the general public doesn't have, said Becht, a Sarasota resident, adding that's much different from being certified to handle and operate a weapon. The general public doesn't have what it takes to take a life when necessary. Rebuking this thinking, Stubbs said, show me the facts to support it. He added concealed license holders are 10 times less likely to commit crimes. While the bill promotes gun rights, many feel it underscores the need for increased mental health funding in the state. Florida is 49th overall in the nation and trails only Idaho in terms of funding. The state spends $37.28 per person annually on service in comparison to the national average of $125. Riley says detection of mental health in schools is an issue that has led to violence and high-profile shootings. In most cases, they are depressed or on medication. You don't often hear of an accountant going to a school because they're mad at a teacher. Stube has pushed for increased mental health funding in the state and does see the need. However, he said he doesn't see a correlation in increased mental health funding and expanding gun rights. Federal and state law prohibits possession of a firearm to anyone who has been adjudicated as a mental defective or involuntarily committed to a mental institution. No law requires states to report identities of individuals to the National Instant Criminal Background Check System database, a network the FBI uses for background checks before gun purchases. Florida Department of Law Enforcement maintains its own database. However, during a 2-year period, the agency failed to enter 33,345 records in the appropriate reporting period, some up to a year and a half late, and 11 counties had no information at all, according to State Auditor General data. State Representative Scott Pliken R. Longwood reintroduced the campus carry measure in the House for the 2017 legislative session, hoping to gain traction. "We feel we already do a good job with our security. But what happens if a teacher shoots someone?" asked Riley, who's worked at Charlotte County Schools for 37 years. "We don't want any more guns in our schools." Email, joels@sun-herald.com. Stube.